Survival movies tap into our deepest fears and desires, showcasing the raw human spirit against impossible odds. Brace yourself for the ultimate cinematic adrenaline rush. These top 13 survival movies plunge you into heart-pounding battles against nature, the wild, and the human spirit. From icy isolation to ruthless jungles, these films test grit, resilience, and raw determination. The Revenant. This film is brutal, beautiful, and based on a true story, however much of the film was fictionalized. Hugh Glass, a frontiersman, is mauled by a bear. His companions leave him for dead. He's alone in the frozen wilderness. Alejandro G. Iñárritu directed this masterpiece. Leonardo DiCaprio as Glass gives a performance for the ages. He crawls, he eats raw bison liver, he cauterizes his wounds with gunpowder. The cinematography is breathtaking. You feel the cold, the pain, the sheer will to live. The movie is inspired by Michael Punk's 2002 novel of the same name. The book was inspired by an actual bear attack on frontiersman Hugh Glass. Glass was abandoned by his hunting party in 1823 after being mauled by a grizzly. The film was shot in 12 locations across 3 countries: Canada, the United States, and Argentina. The movie features long, continuous shots. These shots make you feel like you're right there with Glass. You're suffering with him. You see the vast, unforgiving landscape. It's a visual feast. It's also a story about revenge. Glass wants to find the men who left him. He wants justice. It's a primal urge. It fuels his survival. The Revenant isn't just a survival movie. It's an experience. It stays with you long after the credits roll. It makes you question what you would do to survive. On 27 Hours. Aaron Ralston's story is the stuff of nightmares and inspiration. He's a canyoneer exploring a remote Utah slot canyon. A boulder falls. It traps his arm. He's alone. No one knows where he is. Danny Boyle directs this intense film. James Franco as Ralston is mesmerizing. You're trapped with him. You feel his desperation. The movie is based on Ralston's autobiography, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. It's a harrowing read. The film captures the book's intensity. Ralston tries everything to free himself. He uses his multi-tool. He rigs a pulley system. Nothing works. Days pass. He's running out of water, out of hope. He starts hallucinating. He thinks about his family, his life. The film uses flashbacks to show Ralston's past. You see his love for adventure. You understand why he's out there, pushing his limits. Then comes the moment that defines the film. 127 Hours is a powerful film. It's about survival, yes, but it's also about the strength of the human spirit. It teaches that anyone can overcome the toughest obstacles. Castaway. Chuck Noland, a FedEx systems engineer, is the sole survivor of a plane crash. He washes ashore on a deserted island. He's completely alone. Tom Hanks delivers a tour-de-force performance. He carries the film almost entirely on his own. Robert Zemeckis directs. He creates a sense of isolation that's palpable. The island is beautiful but unforgiving. Noland has to learn to survive. He has to find food, water, and shelter. He has to make fire. It's a slow, arduous process. The film shows the physical toll of survival. Noland loses weight. His body is battered, but the mental toll is even greater. He talks to a volleyball named Wilson. Wilson becomes his only companion. The volleyball is a symbol of Noland's need for connection. It's a reminder of his humanity. Years pass. Noland adapts. He becomes skilled at fishing, at surviving, but he never gives up hope of rescue. He builds a raft. He sets sail, risking everything. Castaway is a story about resilience, about the human need for connection, and about the power of hope. All is lost. A man is sailing solo across the Indian Ocean. His yacht hits a shipping container. The boat starts taking on water. He's in the middle of nowhere. Robert Redford plays the unnamed man. He's the only character in the film. There's almost no dialogue. J.C. Chandor directs this minimalist masterpiece. The film is a masterclass in visual storytelling. You see the man struggle through his actions, not his words. The man is resourceful. He patches the hole in his boat. He tries to radio for help, but his equipment is damaged. A storm hits. The boat is further damaged. The man is forced to abandon ship. He takes to a life raft. He's adrift at sea. The sun is brutal. The days are long. The nights are cold. The man's supplies dwindle. He's facing death, but he doesn't give up. He fights to survive. He uses his knowledge of the sea. He tries to navigate using a sextant. The film is a tense, gripping experience. You're right there with the man. You feel his fear, his determination. All is Lost is a powerful meditation on mortality, on the human will to live in the face of overwhelming odds. Gravity. Dr. Ryan Stone, a medical engineer, is on her first space mission. A spacewalk goes wrong. Debris from a destroyed satellite damages their shuttle. Stone is separated from her crew. She's adrift in space. Sandra Bullock gives a powerful performance as Stone. George Clooney plays a veteran astronaut, Matt Kowalski. He's calm, experienced. He tries to help Stone. Alfonso Cuarón directs this visually stunning film. The special effects are groundbreaking. They create a sense of weightlessness, of being lost in the vastness of space. The film is a technical marvel. It's also a story about survival. Stone has to overcome her fear. She has to use her wits to stay alive. Her oxygen is running out. Her suit is damaged. She has to find a way to get back to Earth. The film uses long takes. These takes immerse you in Stone's experience. You feel her claustrophobia, her panic, but you also see her resilience. She's determined to survive. She uses her knowledge of physics. She improvises. Gravity is a thrilling, suspenseful film. It's about overcoming adversity, about finding the strength to carry on even when all seems lost. The film is also a visual metaphor for rebirth. Stone's journey through space mirrors a journey through the birth canal. She emerges, reborn, at the end of the film. The Gray. A group of oil workers are flying over Alaska. Their plane crashes in a remote, snowy wilderness. They're the only survivors. Liam Neeson leads the cast as Otway, a skilled huntsman. Joe Carnahan directs this bleak, intense film. The men are not just battling the elements, they're being hunted by a pack of wolves. The wolves are relentless. They're a constant threat. The film is a study in fear and desperation. The men are cold, hungry, and injured. They're losing hope. Otway tries to keep them going. He's a leader, a protector, but he's also haunted by his past. The film uses flashbacks to show Otway's life before the crash. You see his pain, his regrets. These flashbacks add depth to his character. They make him more than just a survivalist. The men try to reach civilization. They trek through the snow. They face blizzards, freezing rivers. The wolves are always watching. They pick off the men one by one. The film is brutal, unflinching. It shows the harsh realities of survival. There's no easy escape. The Gray is more than just a survival movie. It's a meditation on life, death, and the meaning of existence. It asks, what are we willing to do to survive? Alive? This film tells the true story of a Uruguayan rugby team. Their plane crashes in the Andes Mountains. They're stranded in a frozen wasteland. Frank Marshall directs this harrowing film. Ethan Hawke is one of the survivors. The film is based on Piers Paul Reed's book, Alive: The Story of the Andes Survivors. It's a detailed account of the ordeal. The survivors face unimaginable conditions. They're high in the mountains. The weather is brutal. They have little food, no supplies. They huddle together for warmth in the wreckage of the plane. Days turn into weeks. The survivors are starving. They make a decision that will haunt them forever. They decide to eat the flesh of the dead. It's a horrific act, but it's their only chance of survival. The film doesn't shy away from the gruesome details. It shows the moral dilemma the survivors face. It's a question of survival versus taboo. Some of the survivors decide to trek out of the mountains. They're looking for help. It's a desperate gamble. They face treacherous terrain. They're weak from hunger, but they keep going. Alive is a testament to the human spirit. It shows the lengths people will go to survive. It's a story about hope, resilience, and the will to live. It also asks important moral and ethical questions. Into the Wild. Christopher McCandless, a young man from a well-to-do family, graduates from Emory University. He then donates his savings to charity. He abandons his possessions. He hitchhikes to Alaska. He wants to live in the wilderness. Emil Hirsch plays McCandless. Sean Penn directs this film based on John Krakauer's book of the same name. The book is a non-fiction account of McCandless's life. The film follows McCandless's journey. He meets various people along the way. He works odd jobs. He experiences the beauty of nature. He's searching for something, for meaning, for truth. He's rejecting the materialism of modern society. He wants to live a simple life, close to nature. McCandless reaches Alaska. He finds an abandoned bus. He makes it his home. He lives off the land. He hunts. He forages. But he's inexperienced. He makes mistakes. He eats poisonous plants. He becomes weak, sick. The film shows the harsh realities of wilderness survival. It's not romantic, it's dangerous. McCandless realizes he's made a mistake. He wants to return to civilization. Into the Wild is a cautionary tale. It's about the dangers of romanticizing nature. It's about the importance of preparation, of knowledge. It's also a story about the search for meaning, about the desire to live a life of purpose. Touching the Void, Joe Simpson and Simon Yates, two experienced climbers, attempt to summit Ciudad Grande in the Peruvian Andes. They reach the top, but on the descent, disaster strikes. Simpson breaks his leg. Yates tries to lower him down the mountain, but a storm hits. Yates is forced to make a terrible decision. He cuts the rope, sending Simpson plummeting into a crevasse. Kevin McDonald directs this documentary-style film. It's based on Simpson's book, also called Touching the Void. The book is a gripping account of their ordeal. The film uses a mix of interviews and reenactments. The actors playing Simpson and Yates are skilled climbers. They make the climbing scenes look realistic. You feel the danger, the intensity. Yates believes Simpson is dead. He returns to base camp, but Simpson is alive. He's trapped in the crevasse. He's injured, alone. He has no food, no water. He has to find a way out. The film shows Simpson's incredible will to survive. He crawls out of the crevasse. He drags himself across a glacier. He's in agony, but he doesn't give up. He's driven by a primal urge to live. It's a miraculous survival. Touching the Void is a story about friendship, about survival, and about the difficult choices we make in extreme situations. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll. Life of Pi. Pai Patel, a young Indian boy, is traveling with his family and their zoo animals on a ship. A storm hits. The ship sinks. Pai is the only human survivor. He finds himself on a lifeboat with a zebra, a hyena, an orangutan, and a Bengal tiger named Richard Parker. Ang Lee directs this visually stunning film. It's based on Yann Martel's novel of the same name. The novel is a philosophical exploration of faith, survival, and the nature of reality. The film captures the book's beauty and its depth. The film is a visual feast. The ocean is a character in itself. It's beautiful, dangerous, and unpredictable. The special effects are incredible. Richard Parker is a CGI creation, but he feels real. He's a magnificent, terrifying creature. Pi and Richard Parker form a strange bond. They're both survivors. They need each other. The film is a visual feast. The ocean is a character in itself. It's beautiful, dangerous, and unpredictable. The special effects are incredible. Richard Parker is a CGI creation, but he feels real. He's a magnificent, terrifying creature. Pi and Richard Parker form a strange bond. They're both survivors. They need each other. Life of Pi is a film about the power of storytelling. It's about the stories we tell ourselves to survive. It's about faith, hope, and the resilience of the human spirit. Arctic. Overgord, a pilot, is stranded in the Arctic. His plane has crashed. He's alone in a vast frozen wilderness. Mads Mikkelsen delivers a powerful, understated performance as Overgord. Joe Penna, a first-time director, creates a film that is both minimalist and gripping. Overgord has established a routine. He's salvaged supplies from the plane. He fishes through a hole in the ice. He checks his distress beacon daily. He's created a large SOS sign in the snow. He's surviving, but just barely. The film shows the monotony, the isolation of his existence. The landscape is beautiful but unforgiving. The cold is a constant threat. A helicopter appears. Hope flares, but the helicopter crashes during a rescue attempt. Overgord pulls the pilot, a young woman, from the wreckage. She's badly injured. Overgord now has a choice. He can stay with the plane, hoping for rescue, or he can try to reach a nearby seasonal station, dragging the injured woman with him. It's a long, dangerous journey. He decides to go. The film becomes a story of two people fighting for survival. Overgord cares for the woman. He pulls her on a makeshift sled. He faces blizzards, treacherous terrain. He's weakening, but he doesn't give up. He's driven by a sense of responsibility. Arctic is a film about the human connection, even in the most extreme circumstances. It's about the choice between self-preservation and helping others. It's a story about resilience, about the will to live, not just for oneself, but for another. The Martian? Mark Watney, an astronaut, is presumed dead. A fierce storm forces his crew to evacuate Mars. He's left behind, alone on the red planet. Matt Damon is fantastic as Watney. He's funny, resourceful, and incredibly optimistic. Ridley Scott directs this film based on Andy Weir's best-selling novel. The book is known for its scientific accuracy. The film captures that realism. Watney is a botanist. He uses his knowledge to survive. He has to create water. He has to grow food in Martian soil. He has to find a way to contact Earth. He does it all with a sense of humor. He records video logs. These logs are his way of staying sane. They're also a way for the audience to connect with him. The film shows the ingenuity of Watney's survival methods. He modifies equipment. He experiments. He never gives up. Meanwhile, back on Earth, NASA discovers Watney is alive. They mount a rescue mission. It's a complex, risky operation. The film cuts between Watney's struggles on Mars and NASA's efforts to bring him home. There is a sense of urgency, of hope. The whole world is watching, rooting for Watney. The Martian is a celebration of science, of human ingenuity. It's a story about problem solving, about the power of optimism. It's also a story about teamwork. People from all over the world work together to save one man. The film is ultimately uplifting. It's a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, anything is possible. The impossible. The Bennett family is vacationing in Thailand. It's Christmas 2004. They're caught in the devastating Indian Ocean tsunami. The wave hits with terrifying force. The family is separated. Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor play the parents, Maria and Henry. Tom Holland, in his breakout role, plays their eldest son, Lucas. J.A. Bayona directs this harrowing, emotional film. It's based on the true story of a Spanish family who survived the tsunami. The film captures the sheer chaos and destruction of the disaster. The wave is a terrifying force of nature. It sweeps away everything in its path. Maria and Lucas are swept inland. They're injured, struggling to survive. The film shows the horrors they witness. It's a visceral, unflinching portrayal of the tsunami's aftermath. Henry and the two younger sons are also separated. They're searching for Maria and Lucas. The film cuts between the two groups, showing their parallel journeys. They're all trying to find each other. They're also trying to help others. They encounter other survivors, other victims. The film is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. People help each other, even in the midst of such devastation. Maria's injuries are severe. Lucas has to be strong for her. He helps her find medical care. He becomes her protector. It's a powerful performance from a young actor. The Impossible is a story about the power of family, about love and hope in the face of unimaginable tragedy. It's a reminder of the fragility of life, but also of the strength of the human spirit. It is ultimately a story of hope amidst destruction. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.